Oh, no.
It's like already a low-level mistake. Jesus.
Oh, it's not a
And,
mistake?
and let's just be clear. You agree that
Also?
you treat G as a
Also?
constant term. We'll just calm down, retard.
Also?
Right, so you agree that
We're
you
gonna
treat
get
G
to
as
the
a
point.
constant term
It's
in
still
the
a
argument,
mistake,
correct?
right? So we're gonna focus on the
Do you agree that
the
you...
mistake.
Wait,
These are
just calm down,
irrelevant.
dipshit. Right, you
5
agree you
seconds
treat
into
G
the
as a constant
conversation, you've
term?
already dodged
Oh
the point.
shit,
Say the
he's
claim.
already moving
Oh,
to
he's gonna
rhetoric.
turn up the
It's
rhetoric now.
over.
So let's
It's
go again.
over. You're already
Over for
jumping
you.
off
You're
ship
getting
because you
rhetorically
got blown the
framed
fuck
Muzz
out.
right now. You made
Jesus
the claim it was a
Christ.
mistake. Let's talk about it.
Hold on.
Let's
So
talk
we're
about it,
hold
Erik.
on. Yep,
Erik, let's
muting,
talk about
muting both of you. Yeah, we're just gonna have 3-minute openers. So, the prompt seems to be that God's existence. I think Apollo's affirming. Erik is going to be denying. There's a poll in the top right, or the top left for anyone who wants to vote on who they think is going to win. They're going to have 3-minute opener. Yo, Erik, you got a warning because you said the R word, so I have no idea if you're going to get eviscerated, but I'll let you stay up.
You guys have to put a Muzz at the
Hold
top.
on, Apollo. So it's going to be 3-minute. Oh, we got eviscerated.
Before he begins, I'm reading a book about gravity, and it's impossible to put down.
That's crazy.
What's
So
the
I
book
guess all you viewers can just leave. He literally got eviscerated by the app.
Excellent joke.
So
Yeah, just to
wait,
be
I'm
clear,
actually gonna give
for the
him. Hold
audience,
on.
just to be clear for the audience, the Lotier actually said it's a blunder to say that quantum meta ontology is not relevant.
I'm just gonna let him up. I guess I can get my live ban. If my live gets banned, that's gonna suck.
Erik, come back on a
So yeah,
fake account.
wait. Do you have an alt account, Erik?
Yeah, I do.
Can you just come back on that?
Yep.
Sure.
All right,
Sounds
everyone. We're gonna have a quick intermission here. Apollo, don't start like spamming. Let's just like wait for him to get back. Yeah, we're gonna have a slight intermission before the debate.
Yeah, so we expect that when Erik comes back on his out, he's going to justify the claim that I made a mistake without going off.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, for everyone in the audience, just give it a little bit of time. Apollo,
I told my wife she drew her eyebrows too high. She looks surprised.
That's crazy. Okay, so Erik is back, it appears.
Yeah,
I'm going
just gonna
to-
give it a little mud break.
Yeah, what is this, like talking stick now?
Okay, so
He's
now
like,
we are going. Hold up.
Just the points.
Everyone, shut like everyone. Jesus Christ. So 3-minute openers. Who wants to go first? Actually, should I flip a coin?
Let's go first.
I'm just gonna flip a coin. Hold on.
Sure.
I'm not interested in opening statements. You can just give the response and I'll respond to it.
All right, fine. Apollo,
Sure.
go.
So just to kick things off, really and truly, the conversation kind of like got heated when he said they committed the blunder by saying there's not any relevant distinction between quantum meta ontology, which is going to define existence, has to be the valid for bound variable, and the FOL assumption of existence. And so we just want to get clear on why that would be a mistake, right? So without you shotgunning or blundering or schizobabbling for like 10 minutes giving a TED talk, just explain and give the evidence for that proposition, right? Without you dodging, without you being an ape. So give the evidence, give the justification.
All right, so now that he's done working through the broken English sentence, right, the Quinean criterion for ontological commitment roughly is saying that the ontological commitments of some sentence, right, are just what's needed to be in the domain of quantification for that sentence to be true, right? So, for instance, take the sentence, chairs exist, right? On the Quinean theory of ontological commitment, that sentence will commit to the existence of chairs because there needs to be chairs in the domain of quantification for that sentence to be true. Right, now, the existence assumption in standard classical first-order logic is just the assumption that for the names that you introduce, right, those names denote an object that's in the domain of quantification, where that object exists. So notice how that isn't taking on a Quinean criteria for ontological commitment. Okay, so now separately, right, because he was dodging this question before, do you treat G as a constant term to refer to God in one of the premises of the argument?
So he wants to do the thing where he goes onto a new point to basically run away from the original point he's making right now. So you say it's going to be the case that under Quinean account of ontology, they're not going to collapse into one feather. It's going to be the case, apparently, that according to Quinean account of ontology, it's going to be true that how we determine something being a part of the non-empty set is going to be if it is needed to be postulated given the particular background commitments. So I'm going to ask you, what's the account of necessity there in the context of quantum ontology? What's going to be the account of necessity as it pertains to cashing out if something exists or if something does not exist, respectively? How are you going to cash this out?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's very clear he just won't answer the question. Now, I'm even happy because I'm so good faith to like entertain the derails that he like haphazardly and like randomly spits out throughout the course of the discussion. So the sense of need, right, that's spoken about when you're talking about which objects need to be in the domain of quantification for some sentence to be true. It's like the same sense of, well, I mean, I think the sense of need there is a primitive sense of need. So like it's the same sense of needs to be true in the same sense that in order for a sentence to be analytic, it needs to express a conceptual truth, right? It's the same sense of need there. It's saying that a sentence is going to ontologically commit to some object just in case. Mm-hmm. Are you okay?
I'm just giving you a confidence boost right now. Just go ahead.
Yeah, nice one. So it's the same sense of need as the one that I'd mentioned before, right? Now, what I want is an answer to the question. The question is just, do you agree that you're treating G as a constant term in the argument?
So in other words, you want to go off into a new point to thus finish the current point.
By the way, this has been the point the entire time. By the way, since the beginning of the discussion, this is the point that I've been raising.
Dude, relax. Just calm down. Just calm down.
Yeah, so is it the case, right, that you're treating G as a constant term, yes or no? Why are you so afraid of this question?
I'm not afraid of a new point.
I'm afraid of
you want to run away from the current point because you know for a fact
wait, just to be clear, it's not a new point.
It's
been a point for the entire course of the discussion. It sounds like you're terrified of it. Right, so let's just be clear. So let's just be clear.
Right now, it doesn't want me to address
just like an obvious mental breakdown from the dictionary, right? So let's just be clear. Do you agree that you're treating G as a constant term? Do you agree that you're treating G as a constant term? Do you agree that you're treating G as a constant term in the argument?
Hold on a second.
In one of the premises? Oh shit!
Oh shit!
This is such a bad look from you. And all you can do is copy my rhetoric because you're a dog shit imitation of me. What's the answer to the question? What are you doing right now? Do you think that when you beat the fuck out of your chest, despite being so lost in this discussion, it's an even slightly good look for you? What's going on? This question has been asked throughout the beginning of the conversation. You still refuse to answer it because you're terrified of engaging with it. I already explained what the blunder was. You're incapable of engaging with the explanation for what the blunder was. And now we're moving back. We're moving back to the previous point of the conversation, and you're terrified of answering it. So let's just be clear, right? Is it the case that you're treating G as a constant term? Yes or no?
You want to run away?
Oh, that was a stutter. What's going on? Why are you so nervous right now? Holy shit! This is such a bad look for you. Says the person who was calling out stuttering seconds ago. What's the answer to the question? Are you treating G as a constant term? Yes or no, Apollo? Yes or no? That's not a particularly good look. Is the answer yes or no?
Yeah, I'm actually. Hold on. I'm muting
both of you.
No, just like I need you to both to relax. You're just like babbling at this point. Just like let the other one blunder, interrupt them when you need to, but like we can't have this over talking shit. I can't understand a word you're saying. Just like relax.
Okay, gotcha, cool. So anyway,
yes was the answer to the question, yes or no, dipshit? Oh fuck, he's gonna get back into the dumb fuck ramble. Oh shit,
hold on.
Oh fuck, everyone buckle up, the dipshit's gonna ramble again. He's gonna try using lines that I've already used in previous debates because he's dog shit. Yeah, are you treating G as a constant term, yes or no? Why wouldn't you answer the question? Why are you so terrified of me? Why is it that every single time we debate, you get bitched by...
I'm gonna give 1 minute.
Your question. I'm about to send you a galaxy.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Cephs, but we gotta just relax. Hold on, that was.
So I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. So is the answer yes or no?
Oh my god!
Still running. He's attempting to run away by asking.
You won them right now. Why do you keep on using the line running when you can't even pronounce your R?
I'm just gonna ask both of you a yes or no question. Do you guys want to keep up this rhetoric, or do you want to have a formal debate? All right, I'll wrap up. Apollo, just a yes or no question, or not a yes or no. Do you want a formal or non-formal debate?
We can do it formally for the time being because he's running for the points right now and just on the overtime.
Oh, that's not answering the question. Just
I said we can do it formally right now, so that would be an answer to the question, Lotier.
That's
if I said I want to do it formally, that would be an answer.
Erik? Yeah, I'm not interested in either. All I want is an answer to the question. That's it.
Yeah, I guess. All right. We're gonna end the live show, and you guys can just go at it at this point.
Okay, so to be clear, you said
is the answer yes or no, Paulo?
The account of necessity, the primitive notion. So you agree that given the definition you provided, there's no real distinction
I predict that I'm going to keep on repeating the question, and everything you're going to say will just sound like inane background ramble. That doesn't even slightly engage with what I have to say. Let's start it right now. Is the answer to the question yes or no? Is the answer to the question yes or no? Why are you trying to get loud and confident? You're dog shit at this. You fucking suck. You're terrible. Just answer the question. You're getting packed up right now. What are you doing? I'm walking you right now. You're getting walked through a beautiful garden. You keep on stepping on rake after rake after rake after rake. This is such a bad look for you. I don't know why you're stealing more lines from me, like the line scumbag. What the fuck is going on right now? You're terrible at this. Right? Can we get a yes or no answer to the question? Why do you keep on running away? This isn't a particularly good look. Wait, is the answer yes or no? Oh shit, he's gonna repeat the same three phrases because he's too fucking stupid to think more. Is the answer yes or no? What are you doing? You're never gonna answer the question. And by the way, saying answer the question in the background is my question is very, very clearly piercing through yours. And it's very, very clearly relevant to the conversation. It's a really, really bad look for you. It's crazy to me that somebody like you has gotten so incredibly respected and revered by dipshits just with this dog shit level of rhetoric that you're displaying right now. So let's just be clear, is the answer yes or no? Is the answer yes or no? The prediction is getting confirmed. Holy fuck. You're just gonna keep on infinitely
Are you going to respond to the points? Hello? He's not even here. So just to be clear, you appeal to a semantic primitive notion in your definition of quantum meta-ontology to say it's going to be the case that given the definition of quantum meta-ontology is going to be different from the FOL assumption of existence. That's a blunder. If you're agreeing that it's primitive insofar as what necessity actually is, and that was the only thing you're appealing to for the sake of saying they're different, then it's going to be the case that nothing about the semantic content you provided or that you have epistemic access to would actually make them different. That was an easy concession. The reason they want to ask me another question is because I want to get up from the current point because you know for a fact you're getting back shots right now.
Did he leave?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he had to go. Somebody said a puller connected to Erik's account.
Oh, he got banned? Again? Oh my god.
Does he have a Fed account?
Yeah. Yo,
Pretty sure he does.
like Erik, holy.
Yo, this is a heads up. If you're debating Phil, make like 6 accounts because you're gonna get panned.
Yeah. Yo, does anyone want to tag in for Erik until he's back?
Yo, Rancho, you go.
Yo, wait, no, he's back.
Holy fucking shit, my phone died. Jesus.
Oh.
So the answer yes or no? No follow? Let's get right back on bitching you. Is the answer yes or no?
Oh, look at the
look at the dog knows the question. Look at you speak broken English. Look at you avoid every single question. Look at you try to use rhetoric when you're fucking dog shit.
Again, what's going to be the answer? What's going to be the answer to the point, Erik? What's going to be the answer, Erik?
The answer yes or no?
What's going to be the answer,
He's screaming now. He's having a mental breakdown.
What's going to be the answer to my point, Erik? Tell me what the answer is, Erik. Erik, just tell me what the answer is to my point. Or I forgot the point because of dementia. What's the point? He's like going on ChatGPT right now. Holy fucking shit, dude. Anyways, if we're going to be appealing to something primitive semantically, to say that by definition, quantum in the concept of meta-ontology is different from the FOL assumption of existence given how they define, how they cash out existence in that particular domain, that's a blunder, right? ChatGPT is not going to save from this blunder, by the way, just to be clear on this.
Can we add a conditional?
Yo, his phone died again.
Yo, whoever loses has to join KG.
Yeah, that's actually, I think that's a fair deal.
Yeah. And then the guests have to choose who loses.
Yeah, whoever loses joins KG.
I think we should drop all of the guests that are not KG.
Oh, no, that's a bad idea. We're going to lose viewers. 120 viewers? That's like insane numbers. I'm not dropping shit. Like, the panel's just good how it is right now.
Can we like the live, please? Please.
Yeah, everyone like the live.
Your live has a potential of getting banned, like me versus Bridge.
I just want to flag we do in fact have 124 viewers. Why is the like count only 2K likes? Like I'm hosting some of the peakest debates. Like is no one gonna just appreciate me hosting this beautiful debate?
Expand. It's hard to like because we have to like click on you, not on anything else. So expand.
I'm just waiting for Erik to get back. Oh, he's back in the request. I didn't even see him. Hold on. Back to the rhetoric we go.
Technological issues, but I'm still piercing through to bitch Apollo, right? Is the answer yes or no?
Still dodging.
They're still dodging the question.
Waiting
Is
for
the
the
answer yes or no?
answer.
Yes, I agree. You're still
Waiting
dodging.
for
Yes,
the
I agree.
answer.
Someone is still dodging. this
Waiting for the
discussion.
answer.
It's not
Erik.
fucking there.
Waiting
Holy
for the
shit.
answer.
What's
My
going on?
son,
I
give me the
predicted
answer.
earlier
My
that this
son, give me the
conversation would
answer.
be your
What's the
undoing.
answer?
And the
What's
reason
the
it's your
response to
undoing,
my
because this
argument?
happens to you in
What's
every
the
single
response to
debate.
my
You get
counter
asked an
argument?
incredibly clear,
Waiting
incredibly
for the
concise
answer.
question, and the entire rest of the
Waiting for the
debate is you
answer.
getting
What's the
bitched by the
answer?
person
What's
linearly
the
repeating the
response?
same
Getting
question over and over
penetrated
again.
right
And
now,
this is yet another
son.
repetition of the
Son,
same
you're
exact
getting
theme. Is
penetrated.
the answer yes or
Respond
no?
to the
Don't
goddamn
scream into
point.
your like
How are you
Jamaican
going to be appealing to
Samsung
something
5G phone, dipshit.
semantically
Is the answer
primitive
yes or
to
no?
state that there's a semantic differentiation?
What's going on?
Oh,
Why
the
is your
crash
speaking getting so
outlast
much worse?
again.
Why do you sound so
What's
unconfident?
going to be the
Right, let's get the
response to my
first try
point?
to again
What's
answer the
response?
question. Is the answer yes or
Waiting
no?
for the answer.
All right, second try. Is
All
it
right,
yes or no?
he's going to be dodging again
Third
and again.
try. Is it
Prevaricated.
yes or no?
That's the
Fourth
15th
try. Is it
deflection
yes
from
or
the
no?
vulture. Let's see for the 16th
Fifth try.
try,
Is
he
it
might
yes or
actually
no?
respond to my point.
And then we got 5 dodges in a row.
The
And by the way,
17th
notice how Odie can do
deflection from the
hilariously.
vulture.
Is repeat
Waiting
the
for the
same
response to
question
my
in the
point, by the
background
way.
as he's actively
Waiting
dodging my
for the
question that's
response
actively
to
been
the
on the
point, by
table
the way.
that I asked before the question.
Waiting for the
Holy
response
fucking
to my
shit.
point.
Yes, I agree you're waiting
Waiting.
for the response for the
Yeah, I'm
irrelevant
waiting
zero
for you to
because you
respond
know
to
that
my
if
point
you
without you
engage with the
running.
relevant
Without you
question,
running.
it would be a
Without you
terrible
running.
fucking
Without
look
you
for
running.
you.
Stop
Jesus
running.
Christ.
Stop
When are you going to answer the
running, dude.
question?
Stop
I don't know why
running.
you're saying
God damn
stop
it,
running.
dude.
You're
He's
actively avoiding my
shaking.
question right now. Do you
His
do it again?
penis
Are you
on the
treating
whiz right now. He
G as
doesn't
a
know what to
constant
do.
term in
He's
one of the
lost
premises? Yes
in
or
the
no?
rhetorical
Are you
rainforest.
treating
He's
G as a
lost in the
constant term,
rhetorical
Apollo?
rainforest right now.
Are you treating G as a
Holy
constant term in one of the premises? You'll never answer this, right?
dude.
And this is
You
the same
appeal to
exact
something
dipshit, by the way. The
semantically
person that's
primitive
pretending to be
state
confident,
that something
the
by
person who said that
definition
the
is different. What
Quinian
a
criterion for
blunder.
ontological
What a
commitment is the same thing
blunder.
as the
What a
existence assumption.
blunder.
It's
The
no
blunder
surprise that he would be doing
generator does
fucking
not
terrible
know
in this
what to
discussion,
do right now.
considering the
He's
fact that he
just
makes low-level
screaming over
errors
me.
like
He
this.
doesn't know
Every
what to
single
do.
competent
The
person
blunder
is going to listen
generator.
back to the
The
debate. They're all
blunder
going to see it,
generator.
and they're
I
going to see
want
you
you to
getting
respond
bitched.
to the
The best
goddamn
thing you can
point.
do at this
I
point
want
is
you to
ask for
respond to
healthy
the goddamn
reconciliation
point.
for getting
You
fucking
said
curb
that they're
stomped here.
different
Every
by
single time you
definition,
keep up
and
with
then
a
you
little
appeal
dipshit
to
remark,
something
I stomp it
semantically
down.
primitive.
Because anything that you
Holy,
could think
you
of is just a
barbarian
small
ape.
blip in my mind
You
that I immediately
barbarian
dismiss
ape,
and fucking
lock
stomp.
into the
And that's becoming
conversation,
incredibly
you
evident in this
Neanderthal. Lock into the
conversation. Now,
conversation,
what we're going to
dude.
do is we're going to
Just
repeat the
respond to
question,
the
and we're still
goddamn
not going
point,
to get an
dude.
answer. And the
It's
reason we're
not
still not
that
going to get an
scary,
answer
dude.
is because he's
It's
fucking
not
stupid.
that scary,
Right, so
dude. Just
let's
lock
be
in.
clear, right? People are
Boy,
saying that you need to summon
boy,
Netanyahu
sit
to
down.
be. You need Palantir to
Boy,
strike me down for this
sit
debate, right?
down
Let's just
and
be clear.
respond
Is
to
the
the
answer
point.
to the question yes or no?
Boy,
Are you treating G
boy,
as a
son,
constant
sit
term in
down,
one of the
go in the
premises?
corner and do what
You're
Daddy
never
told
gonna
you to
answer.
do.
Hey,
Respond
broken English.
to the
Hey,
point.
broken English. Hey,
Respond
broken
to the
English.
point.
You want to respond to
This
my
is the guy
question,
speaking in
dipshit? Or are
Mongolian
you
language
incapable
right
of
now.
forming an
He's
English
speaking
sentence such that you
Mongolian
can
mumbo
respond to the
jumbo trying
question?
to criticize someone's English.
Quicksilver
That's
rhetoric.
insane
You're
to
using
me.
Quicksilver
That's
rhetoric right now.
insane
That's
to
a
me.
line you use
The
to get synth, by the
Mongolian
way. Your
mumbo
rhetoric
jumbo
fucking
speaker
sucks.
is
So
going to be
let's just be
talking
clear.
about rhetoric.
Is the answer
He's
yes
going
or
to be
no?
talking about English. You're looking
Holy
bad
shit,
again.
this is such a bad look. Yes,
Holy
I am talking about English
waiting
when
for
I'm
the
talking to you
response.
because
The
you're a dog shit
Mongolian
fucking
mumbo
English
jumbler
speaker.
won't respond to
Whenever
the
you
actual point.
speak, it's like
The
one word
Mongolian
combining into
mumbo
5 different
jumbler won't
sentences. You're not
respond to
smart
the
enough to
goddamn
separate
point.
the words that you use when
Son,
you're speaking, much less to
son,
construct an
respond
argument that's
to the
not
point.
question
I'm
vetted.
separating
Jesus,
my words.
this
You're
is a
not.
bad
That's why
look.
you're stumbling over your words right
Bitch,
now.
you're getting
The
ditched by me.
reason
What's
as to why
going
you're
on? Why do I
stumbling
own
over
you?
your
Why do you
words
have
and
your
I'm
own
not,
leash?
the
You're getting
reason
dragged
as to why I
around
can
right now.
rhetorically
You're hooked
frame
up to the
Mog
back
in
of
the
my Ford
conversation
Explorer,
is because
fucking hog
unlike
tied
you,
to it.
I'm
This
not
is such a bad
schizophrenic.
look for you.
Unlike
And I'm
you,
just
not
driving
lizard,
around
and
over and
unlike
over
you,
again to different
use
parts of the
crash out
conversation
fake laughs
where you're losing
to
on
pulp
each part
and
of the
mask my
conversation.
absence
I
of
said this in
rhetoric.
our
So I'm
last
going to
debate,
ask you
and I'm going to say
again
this
and
again.
again and
I'm treating
again.
you
What's
rhetorical
going to be
Mona
the
Lisa right now.
goddamn
Jesus
response to the
Christ.
point?
Yeah,
Tell
so
me
is
what the
the answer
response
yes
is,
or
sonny
no,
boy.
Apollo? Is the
Sonny
answer yes or
boy.
no?
Sonny
Slow boy,
boy,
slow
respond to the
boy,
point.
slow
Sonny
boy, Slow boy.
This is
Slow
point.
boy.
It's
Is the
not
answer
that
yes or
difficult,
no?
son.
I
I know
understand
it's
you
make
figured
a
out how to
comeback.
repeat
I
a phrase
know you want
dictation.
to
Is
make
the
a
answer yes or
comeback
no?
from the backstretch.
You're just never gonna answer. It's an incredibly bad look. It's an incredibly bad look. Wait, is the answer yes or no?
Respond to the point.
Apollo,
Yeah, just
Apollo,
respond to the
Apollo,
point.
Apollo,
Respond.
Apollo. Is the answer yes or no?
Respond.
Apollo,
Son of boy.
Apollo,
Respond.
Apollo. I don't know why you're
Son.
saying respond.
Slave
You're not
boy.
responding to my question.
Slave
It's not
boy,
particularly a good
respond.
look.
Slave
Apollo
boy,
is the answer
respond.
yes or no?
Just to be clear,
Yes or
your
no?
price on the
Yes
slave
or
market
no,
is decreasing right
Apollo?
now.
Hey,
Your
Apollo, is
price
the answer
on the
yes or
slave
no?
market
You're not going
is
to answer this
currently
question.
decreasing
Holy shit,
after
you're
your
so
bad
dog shit at
performance.
this. You
Your
tried to
slave-
claw your way
his
back up
slave
into the
price
debate
is
community
decreasing
after
right
getting
now.
bitched by me a
Holy
plethora of
dude,
different times,
your
and you're still
slave price
incapable
currently
of
on the
putting up an
market
even
is at
remotely
5
good
Mumbai
performance
coins
against
right
me.
now.
You suck
Your
at rhetoric,
slave
and you
price
suck
is
at substance, by the way,
equivalent to
which is why you
5
constructed this
Mumbai
dog
coins
shit variation of
because
the
of your
ontological
bad
argument, where you're
rhetorical
not capable of
performance.
going one
Lock
layer
in,
into a line
son.
of questioning about
Lock
it
in,
because you're
son.
terrified
Respond to
of
my
me.
point.
You're afraid of this,
Respond
and
to
that's
my
the
point,
common theme in
dude.
this discussion, Apollo.
Respond
The
to my
common theme is
point,
that you're
dude.
terrified of me. You're terrified of
Holy,
engaging
dude,
with
you won't
anything that I
respond
say,
to the
and
current
for any
point.
second
You
that
wanna
you
run
do,
away.
you get
You
blown
wanna
the
run
fuck out as a
away. You wanna
result.
prevaricate
This is
to
a
the
really
actual
bad
point.
look.
This
Now,
is a
is the answer yes or no, Apollo?
Everybody's asking for us to mod, so I'm just gonna have I think his friend is dead. I was just gonna ask Eric to re-ask the question, and then Apollo, you could just choose to answer whether or not you wanna
Yeah, wait,
Sounds
yeah,
like-
since people are, I don't even know if people want us to mod or not. You said some people were saying that stuff.
No, yeah, like so the people that they want it are just trolling. Everybody like who's actually engaged in the substance.
Yo, and
wants it to
Eric and
answer
Apollo, are you guys okay with us making it somewhat modded, or do you guys just want to
Of
keep
course,
spending
definitely,
money?
but he's scared of the moderation.
Dude,
He's
that was
scared.
just yesterday. Eric,
I said,
just
of course.
yes or no?
Yeah, I'm happy to do talking stick and close out here because I think he got bitched.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give you guys one. Hold on. I'm just giving you guys 1 minute at a time.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I'm just.
Who's gonna go first?
Yeah, him, I guess. All right,
Eric can go
Eric,
first.
you start, and then 1 minute for Apollo after that, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's been incredibly clear throughout the course of this good faith discussion that he's not capable of engaging with any question whatsoever that I could possibly ask throughout the course of this discussion, right? So let's just be clear here, right? First, I opened up by asking him whether or not there's an existence assumption in classical first order logic. And then he said, yeah, it's to be the value of a bound variable, because he doesn't have the slightest bit of logic knowledge. And he thinks that the existence assumption is just tantamount to the Quinian criterion for ontological commitment, which is an incredibly bad look. And then I asked him right after that, right, whether or not he's treating G as a constant term in the premises of the argument, right? And we got no answer whatsoever to that question, right? And he decided to focus on the initial point that I made, right? So what he's trying to do is he's trying to kind of weasel his way out of the blunder that he made earlier. And in doing so, he's dodging the current question on the table. And what I predict, which I've predicted earlier in this discussion, is that he will never provide any answer or anything even approaching an answer to the question that I've put on the table, right? So let's just be clear. And he's not going to give a yes or no answer to this because he's my bitch, right? So is it the case that you're treating G as a constant term in one of the premises of your argument?
Yeah, so the single-digit IQ slave boy actually started off the conversation by stating that it is going to be the case I made a mistake or a blunder when I said there's no relevant distinction between the Quine account meta ontology and the FOL assumption of existence. And then this is where things get interesting and more specifically embarrassing for my slave over here, because he then said afterwards that what's going to be the differentiating factor of Quine meta ontology in comparison to the other position, which is the FOL assumption of existence, is going to be the necessity concept, insofar as it's going to be indexed to what you need to postulate given certain theoretical commitments. And then afterwards, when I asked him what's going to be the semantical account of this supposed differentiating factor, which makes it the case that they're conceptually different, you know what the low tier said? He agreed it was semantically primitive. So you cannot appeal to a given feature which you believe is semantically primitive to then say that two things by definition are different. Of course, they would be by definition different if you agree that the very same factor you're appealing to for the sake of saying they're semantically primitive or for the sake of saying they're different is semantically primitive. That means there's nothing about the semantic content at the fundamental level which would make them different. That's the obvious blunder. And what he did, by the way, was he did the Down syndrome low tier strategy, stage 2, which he basically made a blunder, made a point he cannot substantiate, cannot corroborate, cannot demonstrate to be correct. And then afterwards, he tried to switch the conversation by asking me a derail question, like the derail donkey actually is, by asking me if G is going to stand for the constant, or is G going to be the constant which represents God. Well, of course, that's going to be the case. However, the reason I did not engage with that question is because what derail donkeys like my slave boy on the contrary over here does is he'd make a point which he knows he cannot substantiate and then ask a question to deviate from the point. So I'm pretty certain that everyone with any sort of functional brain cells who is unbiased can understand his cheeks got spread apart in front of 120 people on the panel. That's embarrassing stuff, dude. That's embarrassing. I did this all on the clip, by the way. So yeah, keep being my slave boy. And yeah, it's just a bad look for you, man. I think we're done here.
Yeah, so I guess what's been sort of noticed here is that Apollo didn't give a yes or no answer to the question, right? So if you're watching the recording, feel free to press the rewind button with respect to the recording and see that I predicted that he wouldn't give a yes or no answer because he's my bitch, right? And that's just been further confirmed, right? So let's just go through the dipshit points, right? So he just said that he's treating G as a constant term in one of the premises of his argument that denotes God, right? Now, if he's treating G as a constant term in the premises of the argument, right, where the conclusion of the argument is that God exists, and there's an existence assumption in classical first order logic, right, which is just that when you introduce names, right, those names will denote an object in the domain of quantification, right, where on Apollo's view, any object in the domain of quantification will exist because he's a nullist, right? That's just to agree that the argument begs the question, right? Namely that it has a premise, right, where that premise assumes that God exists. So he just did that whole confident, like, display, like that whole theater where he'll, like, increase his volume significantly in the middle of the sentence. Like, he'll be like, you tried to switch the conversation, because he's a fucking idiot. I was just, said the word that would get me kicked off of the panel. But yeah, I mean, this is an incredibly bad look. Maybe you should go back to, like, DMing Quark or splashing with femboys or doing, like, whatever it is that you do. Because Jesus Christ, this has been, like, a really bad performance from you. It's shocking to me that somebody like you, as I've said earlier in this conversation, can amass this many dipshits, right? Considering the fact that you're so uncharismatic, so unintelligent, you know nothing about these topics, and you get thematically bitched by me. You have this, like, character arc where it's just, like, a built-in part of it that you get bitched by me at every single point that you try to, like, rise up to being even remotely significant. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm happy to give him the last word here because I think he got blown the fuck out.
Yeah, I was I just will give 3 more minutes to Apollo, and then I guess we can run a poll on who the guests or the viewers think won.
So just to respond to a couple of things, he said it would be the case that the argument would be question begging, given the fact that it's going to be the case that given the FOL assumption, just talking about a particular term is going to denote existence. First and foremost, just because it's going to be the case, I believe that given my meta-ontology, all things exist. It doesn't follow that I believe in the FOL assumption about existence, right? Which is just to say I have different motivations for why I believe all things exist, separate from FOL assumption and existence, which, by the way, the assumption that FOL makes about existence is not something which is, it follows from the syntax, it's just an assumption which is conventional given how logicians talk about and participate in FOL conversations or anything which invokes FOL. That's the first thing. So you've not demonstrated the argument to be question begging. In fact, the sort of argument you attempted to give to demonstrate the argument to be question begging from a tunnel vision perspective is for you to assume that I sign up in the particular presupposition that you have made in the conversation, which you've not demonstrated that. So that's the first correction I want to make to my slave boy over here. The second point I want to make is simply that, just to be clear, he has yet to actually respond to the points about the meta-ontology stuff. He has yet to actually demonstrate to me how it is going to be the case that Quine in the kind of meta-ontology is going to be relatively different from the FOL assumption of existence, such that it would be the case that it makes any sort of sense to say that by definition they're different. He has not demonstrated any sort of explanation or explication on that proposition and run away from it. So I would just take it to be the case he conceded that proposition insofar as the same factor he tried to appeal to for the sake of saying that they're, by definition they're different is the same exact thing which he believes to be semantically primitive, and such he would have to be conceded towards the proposition that it is the case that nothing about the definitional content is going to make it the case that these things are different. So that's really just it, you know. So I have nothing else to really respond to because he's not said anything, to be fair, which is fully worthy for the response. I'm just doing this right now, not just to engage with him, but to just bully him at this point. So, I mean, the debate's finished. I mean, he's going to run away, and that's basically it. Just end the recording, or the clip.
Yeah. That was really,
all right, yeah, that's Paul's last word. Can we get a poll here?
That was a really good faith. Lots of substance there, guys. I think that was like an amazing, good faith conversation. I think all of the audience can agree. There was a lot of substance there. We got to a lot of important points about the conversation.
He got rhetorically
yeah, it was like an amazing debate, guys. All right, now let's everyone vote on the poll.
That's the most pathetic attempt I've seen at getting a line out. Jesus.
Hey, hold on. Can I ask a question if you don't mind?
Rhetorically and coin mocked. Holy shit, dude.
Apollo, did you not engage?
Yeah, but just enjoy your loss here, buddy. Yeah, have a good one.
Wait, look. Apollo, did you not engage?
Guys, let him
Wait.
speak.
Look, Apollo, did you not engage?
Really good faith debate, guys.
Wait, Apollo, did you not engage with like Erik's question in virtue of the fact that he wasn't a 16-year-old femboy horse girl at all? Is that the reason why you didn't engage with this question?
Yeah, I think that we had a little too much substance here. I don't think we had enough rhetoric in the live. Yeah, that was a really good faith conversation, everyone. That was an amazing live, right, guys? There was definitely no rhetoric at all there. It was purely substance. It was just two good faith interlocutors going through